to my cafe, my PetInfoCafe. Pour yourself a warm cup of your favorite, hold a furry friend in your lap, and let's chat about our love of rescued pets. I am your host, Jennifer Eileen, and I'm so delighted to present our topic today, HART90, Homeless Animals Rescue Team. Let's hear from our guests. Cynthia Vosha, Board of Directors, and please welcome our kittens, Chester and Churro.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you.
Chester and Churro are best friends. They're about 3 months old and we're really excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you, and I get to hold a kitten.
Yes, he's a cutie.
Hold a kitten. Absolutely. Well, tell us about HART90. Why 90? Why HART?
Homeless Animals Rescue Team, otherwise known as HART, incorporated in 1990. So we have been saving the lives of dogs and cats now for 34 years. Been around a long time and save approximately 1,000 animals every year, dogs and cats, puppies and kittens. And so we just brought these little kittens today as a sampling of some of the animals that we rescue.
Absolutely. They're so cute. Look at those eyes.
He is adorable.
He's just adorable. Well, how did you get involved in HART90?
I got involved with HART one day when I was at the PetSmart store, and I was looking at the cats for adoption through the window. One of them really caught my eye, and I ended up reaching out to the organization and started volunteering at the cat adoption events, which we have on Sundays. And then over the years, I just got more and more involved and took on a lot of different roles, including helping out at the cat events, fostering cats, joining the board of directors, working on our fundraising events, working on the social media team, just anything I can do basically to help these animals that need the help so badly.
Great. So what is the difference between a nonprofit like yourself, or like so many of the organizations that we talk to here on PetInfoCafe, and say a government-funded shelter? What's the difference?
Well, as a nonprofit, we are strictly relying upon our volunteers, our donors, a large group of compassionate people who really help us do what we do, that we wouldn't be able to do it otherwise, because as a nonprofit, we don't receive any type of government funding or taxpayer dollars. We don't have a big paid staff. We're just, a group of volunteers doing what we can for the greater good.
And you mentioned some things about the volunteer team, particularly the cat team. What a collegial family, non-drama group that is. Could you say more about that?
We encourage people to join our cat team, to become a cat foster. Because when we go to our cat adoption events, it's just kind of like a fun social outing too. Everybody gets along. We're there for, a common reason. We all have something in common, and we're helping out little ones like this. And it's just, a great way to meet people who are passionate about the things that you're passionate about, and to get to know them. And then you just end up becoming great friends.
That's beautiful. Where do the pets come from, the dogs and the cats?
A lot of people ask us where our dogs and cats come from, and there are so many different ways they come to us. We try to help a lot of people in the community as much as we can, but the greatest need that we've seen lately over the past few years is rural areas, especially Southern Virginia, places in South Carolina, even North Carolina, where there are so many animals. People, don't spay neuter their pets like we do in this area. They don't have the resources or maybe the money, and animals tend to run free and they reproduce, and there are more animals in the shelter than there are people to adopt. So on a weekly basis, pretty much, we drive south and we take our transport van. We fill it with as many animals as we can, dogs and cats, and then we bring them up to Northern Virginia, where it's so populated here and people have great jobs and homes and wonderful yards for the dogs, and get them adopted to families in this area.
Well, you shared several very compelling stories about some of the rescues and adoptions that you've had. Could you tell us about Pansy, one of the dogs?
Pansy was a puppy, a litter of 3, that came from a shelter in southwestern Virginia. It's a shelter that HART partners with that really no one else partners with. So we pull as many dogs as we can from that shelter, because if we don't, there really isn't anyone who's going to come for them. So Pansy was a puppy, came in with her 2 siblings, and is a beautiful, adorable little puppy that has the most gorgeous tiger striped coat. Everybody in the volunteer side just fell in love with these puppies instantly. And you know, when the animals come to us, one of the great benefits of adopting through a rescue is they receive their vaccines, their spay neuters, everything that they need. And you know, sometimes that includes heartworm treatment or extra medical care, and they get all of that from us.
Yeah, that's important. Then you mentioned some kittens that you had adopted. I mean, other than these, and there was one kitten in particular, Luca.
Luca.
Special. And Luca is in your home now.
Luca is at my house right now, and is actually best friends with Churro.
Oh.
Churro and Luca both came in as single kittens. We don't know what happened to their moms or to their siblings, but they quickly bonded and became friends. And Luca was in a shelter all by herself, scared, in the back of the cage. She was so dirty. When we saw the picture, we were all just, everybody just really wanted to help her, because it was a very heart-wrenching photo. And so she came to us, and I was the lucky one who got to foster her. I gave her a much needed bath. Her little paws were just caked with dirt. Her ears were so dirty. She just got the full spa treatment. And she was really scared, and she was basically a feral cat. But once she got into the room with the other kittens, and she saw how everybody was just happy and running and playing, and that I was interacting with them, and they were climbing on my lap, she really came around and she warmed up quickly. And now she's the first one in my lap. So it's really rewarding to take a kitten that is in such dire need and then just turn their whole life around and give them a future.
And you said that she's bonded with Churro?
They hit it off immediately.
Tell us
they
about
started
that.
wrestling, playing together. They snuggled together. They would love to find a home together. They're just really, really, really sweet kitties. Instant best friends.
And so how long has it been since Luca was rescued and you took her in, and now she's Churro's buddy?
It's been about 6 weeks, I think. She was really little at the time, and so we bring the kitties in and they try and, you know, quarantine them for a little while and make sure they're healthy and able to mix with the others. But she got to see everybody playing, and as soon as she was able to come out and play, she didn't miss a beat. Yeah.
Well, I think
you're going to have a new best friend.
I think we discovered treats. I think that's going to help a lot. Well, let's talk about, so the van goes down once a week.
Right.
And so you get a call from one of these partner shelters where there's a need. The van goes down, and then what happens? Right.
So we do this pretty much on a weekly basis, or sometimes even twice a week. It just depends on how much room we have for the animals, how many foster homes we have, and we pull as many as we can. So our van is one of our biggest expenses. We bought a brand new van several months ago, and our driver heads down one day, and then the next morning she loads up the van and she drives all the way back. It's usually about a 7-8 hour drive. And sometimes we'll even pull the animals and transport them and hand them off to another rescue if somebody else is willing to take. So we work together with other rescue groups and partner with them because we're all in it for the same reason, and that's helping these animals.
And then HART90 is very active in Fairfax County and Loudoun County.
Yes.
So what are some of the places where people can come and meet cats and dogs?
That is a great question, and we would love to have everyone come and meet these little guys. We have dog adoption events every Saturday in Chantilly from noon to 3 at the PetSmart store.
Okay.
And you can stop on by. The dogs are normally outside on the sidewalk under the awnings, and you can meet them and mingle.
I wasn't expecting this reaction.
Enjoying that a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can talk to the volunteers, you can talk to the fosters. So, you know, our goal is to get to know the animals so that we can make a good match and find a good home for them. And then same thing with the cats. We have adoption events every Sunday at the Sterling PetSmart.
Okay.
And so people can come by and meet these little guys and meet whatever kitties we have at the time. Our fosters are always there and ready and able to tell you all about the kitties and their personalities, right? Because they are in our homes, and so we get to know them. And like people, they all have their own unique personalities. So, you know, like I said, that's our goal, is to make a good match. We want everybody to be happy, the pets, the people, any current pets in the home, and we want it to work out.
Well, I'd like to know more about who fosters. I mean, why? I've done fostering myself.
Yes.
Many foster fails, but what
Foster success.
Yes, foster success,
Right.
exactly. So, what's the opportunity like for somebody to be a foster? What do you enjoy about it?
We have endless opportunities, and we always need help. That is probably our most critical need, is foster homes, and because we want to rescue animals, and we need a place for them to go while they wait to be adopted.
Yeah.
So for me, it's super rewarding because you get to take a little kitty like this who came from a shelter in West Virginia. She, at the time, was so small she needed to be bottle fed. And she went to one of our volunteers who bottle fed her and saved her life. And then when she was old enough to eat on her own, she came to me, and it's great to be a part of that adoption journey. It's so rewarding, you know, because I feel like if I didn't, I don't know what would happen to these animals. I don't know what would happen to these kittens. They probably wouldn't stand a chance in the shelter. So the fostering opportunity is really vast. You know, we have people that want to do long-term fostering, people that want to do short-term fostering, people want kittens, people want a senior dog, somebody who just wants to fill in maybe while a regular volunteer is on vacation. So, you know, whatever it is that someone wants to do and how they want to help, we can match an animal to meet that situation.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's talk a bit about, we talked about the cat foster group. Can we talk about the dog fostering group?
Yes, absolutely. Dogs are a little bit more complicated because you have all the different breeds and different sizes.
Yeah.
And certain fosters, you know, prefer puppies. Certain fosters prefer senior dogs. But basically, you know, it again is a really tight-knit group, and we welcome people to join us. It's a really rewarding experience. You can take your dog to the adoption event. It helps everybody on the team get to know that dog when we see them and interact with them. And help, you know, find a good family for them.
And so you said that some fosters will take pets straight from the shelter. Others, you know, take on pets that have been to the vet and who have been in other homes. How does that work?
Right. It's really up to the foster. And, you know, my fostering has kind of evolved over the years. I've fostered a lot of cats that really had injuries, really needed a little bit of time.
Okay.
I fostered a cat that had burns around his neck. I fostered a cat that had her broken hip. You know, so I enjoy that sort of rewarding experience. So I'm willing to take cats straight from the shelter.
Yeah.
You know, give them a bath, give them flea tick treatment, take them for their vaccines, anything that they need to do. And then once they're good to go, you know, I'm happy to pass them on to another foster who doesn't really want to go through all that. They just kind of want an automatically adoptable animal. And then I can save more from the shelter.
Okay. Yeah, so what's it like saying hello and goodbye when you're fostering? What's that like?
That's a really great question, because a lot of people say they couldn't do it because they get too attached. And that's totally normal. We all get attached. We all love them so much. We do occasionally have a really special one that we can't part with, like you've had. I've had that same situation. But for the most part, you know, you tell yourself this is why you're fostering, to help the animals, and this is why you're fostering, is to find a home for them. And if you know, you obviously, we can't keep them all as much as we want to, but when we do foster one and let it go, then that makes room for us to help another one.
That's right. That's right. Well, it's a testament we talked to this because you're in Loudoun County. We're in the area of Fairfax, Loudoun County, which is where Fairfax Channel 10 is seen, and that this is actually a very friendly and good area for animals.
It is very much so.
Pets.
We're so lucky to have so many resources here, to have access to so many wonderful vets, to so many specialists. Some of these cats, you know, if they come from a rural area, even if somebody wanted to get them the medical treatment that the animal needs, there isn't always, you know, a way to do it or a place to go. Where here we have all these emergency vets and so many wonderful teams that are there for us so we can help these animals.
And you mentioned some of the area groups and shelters and rescues that you work with. Can you mention some of those?
Sure. We partner with quite a few. You know, we try and work with other groups maybe further out in Loudoun County or even in West Virginia on the cat side to help take some of their cats and kittens. Like the Loudoun Community Cat Coalition is a really great group, but they deal mostly with feral cats, but they do sometimes have kittens, and we try to help them. You know, like I said, we're all in it for the same reason, so we all have the same passions and the same goals, and work with other groups as much as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And there were some other groups that actually help you with the adoption. You mentioned Patriotic Possibilities.
Patriot Possibilities, yes. That is a really wonderful place in Fairfax. And if people have not been there, you really need to go, because it is a cat cafe. Cafe. It's by George Mason in the University Mall area, and we are lucky enough to partner with them, where they will take some of our kitties that are ready for adoption. They have a beautiful facility where the cats can play, things they can climb on and jump on. And you can book an appointment, and you can spend time there sitting with the cats, enjoying the cats, playing with the cats. But it's a great way if you're looking to adopt and you want to be able to spend time like this, where you can, you know, interact with them, sort of see who you bond with, and kind of like who wants to adopt you.
Yes, that's right.
Sometimes they pick you.
Who adopts you. Right. That's right. Well, and kind of along those lines, we talked about some of the international rescues that have gone on, and the Kuwait cats are at the Patriot
Possibilities. Yes, they do help cats from Kuwait. It's a really amazing international partnership through several different countries and a lot of places in the Middle East. We've helped cats specifically from Kuwait, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran. And it's a partnership that the groups over there reach out to the rescue groups in the United States, and they have volunteers. And when they're traveling to the United States on business or for pleasure, they just offer to bring a pet with them. So they get all their vaccines, everything they need to be cleared to come to the United States, and then they bring them and we pick them up at the airport. Which is, it's a really amazing project.
So you mentioned another one, the Kabul rescue that's going on right now, which is, we're in June for our audience.
Yes, that was a really, really amazing project. It's Kabul Small Animal Rescue. They had 200 dogs and 100 cats. They were trying to organize a huge mission to bring them to the United States, and they did it, and they arrived, and we took 4 of those dogs that came to us just recently. And so it's really exciting to work with people in other parts of the world. You know, there's so much need everywhere. And around here, you don't realize it as much because we do have everything we need here. And people have jobs and great homes, and but so many other parts of the country and the world, it's really rough on the animals. And so we help when we can.
Yeah, I had a colleague once who said that the cats were eating zucchini because that's all there was. Right. You know, right out of the garden.
Yes, and a lot of these animals just run in the streets, and you know, they just really need somebody to take a chance on them and to help them.
Well, if somebody wants to foster, what's the process for becoming part of it? What are you talking about? Somebody talking.
She is very talkative.
Good.
They can go to our website, heart90.org, and read about our group, see our animals that we have available for adoption. We actually have a link there for all the animals that are already with us that do need foster homes. So you can look at their pictures and read their profiles and see if there's anybody that would be a good match. And then you can apply to be a foster right on our website. And a volunteer will reach out and then decide, you know, what the situation is and what that person's looking for and how they want to help.
And what about adopting? How does that work if somebody wants to adopt?
So we also have adoption application process. We have a form that's filled out. You're going to get kitten kisses.
That would be great.
Yes, and a process to go through for talking with a volunteer or two volunteers, finding out, you know, what's going to be the best match for someone, what they're looking for and what their needs are and what their goals are with the animal. And, you know, like I said, we get to know their personalities. And so we try and make the best match that we can. But most of it's done through our website, or they can come apply directly at one of our adoption events.
Yes, yeah, we know that they can come and meet the pets and meet them. So so this is kitten season now. I just wanted to say, because, you know, I'm getting so spoiled right now holding a kitten. And so it's June. What if somebody wants to adopt a kitten in October, for example? What is the kind of cycle for that?
Well, typically we start getting a lot of kittens around April and May, and this year has been off the charts. There is so much need this year for kittens. We just rescued a litter of 7 that someone left in a carrier in a park in West Virginia. The shelter was full, so they called us, and one of our volunteers went out and got them, because otherwise they probably would have been euthanized. And so we have a lot of kittens, and we will probably have kittens through most of the year, like we did last year. We had kittens in October and even November still. So yeah, there's no shortage of kittens.
So what pets do you have at home?
Well, I have cats of my own.
Yes.
Of course, most of them are from HART. I think actually all of them came into my life for one reason or another. We have 2 that we adopted that were left in a box in a cart at Target on a 100-degree day with no food and no water, and they were tiny little bottle babies, fit in the palm of your hand. Luckily survived, you know, and someone found them. Someone opened that box and looked in there. But they came to us as our fosters, and we ended up keeping them. And now they're part of our family. But we have a separate area of our house for our fosters. And so they have their own space, their own room. And a lot of time when people want to foster kittens or cats, that's really all you need, is just an extra bedroom. A little space where they can hang out, have their own place, maybe a window, and toys and everything they need, and they're perfectly happy that way until they get adopted.
That's great. I just wanted to make it, your call to have a blanket is great, because this little guy is making bread now.
Yes, working it for the camera.
Yeah, and when they do that, I understand that this is part of the nursing, that they actually do this to their mommy's tummy.
It is, and that is when they are at their happiest. So he is just a happy little guy right now. Even though he's not able to eat anything, they still do that out of habit, because that's how they got the milk from their mommy's belly. Yeah. But like I said, he was rescued along with her when they were really little, and our volunteer did have to bottle feed them. So You know, he didn't get to experience that too much with his mommy, but he's working at it now.
Well, Cynthia, we're coming near to the end of our session. Is there anything else you would like our audience to know about HART90 before we close?
Yeah, we have really fun events throughout the whole entire
You
year.
have one coming up in December.
We have a big holiday event in December, the first Saturday in December. It's in Fairfax. They can find the information on our website. And it's a really great opportunity to come out, win some amazing prizes, support animals, and help us save some lives. It's one of our biggest events of the year, is our holiday party. But we also do a Spring Fest every spring, our Woofs and Whiskers Spring Fest. We typically do an online auction over the summer, which is really great. We get people from all over the country who bid in our auction, and we've shipped to many different states. And then we typically have a 5K in the fall. So a little bit of something for everyone.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, and you know, for all the opportunities. And I think maybe this little guy's just going to be here for a while.
Looks like he's pretty happy there.
He's a good time. Well, thank you so much for your time, for letting me hold a kitten for a while, and really appreciate it.
Really appreciate the opportunity.
I hope you've enjoyed this very special episode of Pet Info Cafe. For more information about HART90 and other episodes, you may visit my website, petinfocafe.com.